Hey folks, Garrett Fisher here. I need to tell you about this absolutely mind-blowing podcast, Acting President, that's been keeping me up at night. It's about James Bennett, a former governor starring in a hit Sunday night TV show about overthrowing the government, and then his actual former chief of staff approaches him to do it for real. The line between fiction and reality completely disappears when these course correction rallies start popping up everywhere. Is it brilliant marketing or something more sinister? The parallels are insane. Trust me, this is the political thriller you didn't know you needed in your life. Acting President, available now wherever you find podcasts.
If you don't know about flyer deals on Instacart, this message is for you. Flyer deals are like strolling through your favorite store looking for deals, but you're scrolling your phone, and maybe you're in bed. Because getting delivery doesn't mean you have to miss deals like you'd get at the store, like the one creamer that doesn't make your stomach hurt, or the pasta sauce you can't not buy when it's on sale. So download the Instacart app, shop flyers, and never miss a deal on one of your favorites. Plus, get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes.
Caloroga Shark Media.
If you've been following along, my dog is still here, not understanding that it's raining outside as I record this entire week back to back to back, and that's why we're not going for a long walk. But eventually we will, doggy. Just have faith, just don't want to get wet. Hi, I'm Johnny Mac with 5 good news stories. Good news for a different dog in Australia. A miniature dachshund had been missing on Kangaroo Island. It's Kangaroo Week here on 5 Good News Stories, apparently. Well, on Kangaroo Island, the dachshund had been missing for 549 days in the wild. Valerie had fled from a Stokes Bay campsite back in November of 2023. Georgia and Josh, the humans, spent a week looking for Valerie, couldn't find Valerie. They were worried that the dachshund had fallen victim to one of the island's many predators. But good news, rescuers with Kangaroo Wildlife Rescue had spotted Valerie alive and well on the island. It's like Dog Survivor. Valerie was caught in a crate with a remote-controlled door. A t-shirt with the scent of her owners had been ripped up and placed as bait. That's pretty smart, everybody. Apparently, Valerie went into her crate, the one that was set up to look like the one at home, and she went in and went to sleep. Valerie's now home and decompressing from her adventure on Kangaroo Island. Good news for a boa constrictor rescued from a tree limb in Texas. The boa has a new home. Arlington Animal Control Officer David got a call. Hey, 5-foot snake at a tree. The boss was like, let's go get the snake. David said, I'm like, snake out of a tree? We leave snakes alone. The boss is like, no, it's a python. Officer David said, I certainly hope somebody didn't dump her, but they're known for getting out of their aquariums. Officer David adopted the boa himself. She needed a good home, and I felt like me and my son and my wife could give her one. Her name is Ruby the Redtail. Love it. A museum owner in Iowa believes she has broken a Guinness World Record. Most spoons, 38,162 spoons. Cami and about 24 volunteers spent more than 5 hours counting the spoons to present to Guinness as evidence. Now, the current record is held by an Australian man who might own a kangaroo. It's Kangaroo Week here on 5 Good News Stories, whose collection of 30,000 teaspoons was tallied in 1990. Cami believes the record will soon be hers, 38,162. And she says his is all teaspoons. Mine are teaspoons, salt spoons, mustard spoons, Gilded Age spoons, and spoons for centuries. She said her spoon collecting habit started when her great-grandmother gifted her 127 spoons. Well, it's not a kangaroo, but in Georgia, the police were looking for an escaped goat. The Duluth Police Department said on social media numerous calls came in as a loose goat trotting on Peachtree Industrial Boulevard. And the goat was reported to be acting like it had somewhere very important to be. Maybe it did. Officers responded and attempted to corral the hoofed Houdini as it made its way toward Albion Farm Road, where it hopped a few fences and outsmarted us by disappearing into backyards. I have no update. It is possible there is still a goat loose in Georgia.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, "Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody." Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this, everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
If you would like this program without commercial interruption, a couple things you can do. You can go to caloroga.com/plus, or if you're on Apple Podcasts, click the banner that says Uninterrupted Listening. For $5 a month, you'll get this show and a bunch of others, including Daily Comedy News, which I also host. You'll get those all commercial-free, and you'll get the feed without those pesky feed drops that I know are bugging some of you. But as I've said all week, this is how I make a living, and those pay well. Hope you can understand. But if you want that to go away, $5 a month, great way to support the show. Caloroga.com/plus. I appreciate you supporting the show. In California, a man tried to evade arrest by jumping into a lake with an underwater scooter. You didn't see that last part coming, did you? No. He pleaded guilty to fraud, money laundering, and witness tampering in connection with a $35 million investment fraud scheme. Agents tried to arrest the guy in 2020. The man led them on a car chase before dumping his vehicle and fleeing into Lake Shasta with what was later identified as a Yamaha 350Li underwater submersible device. Prosecutors said the man spent some time out of sight underwater where law enforcement could only see bubbles. 20 minutes later, he had to surface. Eventually you need oxygen, I guess. And boy, this guy had things planned out. An FBI search of his locker turned up a wig and 31,000 Swiss francs, roughly $37,000. The man faces a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison, and that is how we're going to wrap up today's 5 good news stories. And now my dog finally gets that walk. I have a raincoat. I'll get wet. She's been good and waited. Those are your 5 good news stories for today. Have a great day.
In Washington, D.C., power flows through information. But what happens when the most sensitive military intelligence in the world ends up on the wrong phone? In the halls of power, a national security advisor makes a fatal miscalculation. On the other side of the world, a special forces team walks into a perfectly orchestrated trap. When the dust settles, 4 American soldiers are dead, 3 more captured. And the most catastrophic intelligence breach in modern history is just beginning to unravel. Signal Lost, a 6-part podcast thriller about betrayal, courage, and the devastating consequences of a world where even our most guarded communications are never truly secure. When everyone is listening, nowhere is safe. Signal Lost. Available wherever you get your podcasts.